Wrong
One
intro.
time for the one time. It's the family bloodline.
I got you.
And we are back. What's good, good people? Good to see and hear everybody.
What up, brother? What up, good people? What up, Rich?
Hi, how y'all
How's
doing tonight?
yeah,
Great.
doing good. We're gonna give people a second to get in, and so I can finalize getting myself set up over here on this side. So until then, let's start the round table. Quick couple of minutes, see how y'all been doing here lately. We'll start with you, Rich.
Oh, I'm still in court, and I'm still in court fighting the good fight. And it didn't happen on Wednesday. They delayed it till December 4th on that particular issue. They're trying to say I'm vexatious and that I should go away and that I shouldn't be able to do any more legal filings without getting pre-approval from the judge, and also putting up a financial security. And they know I'm on a fee waiver. I don't have any money, and they're asking for $37,000. And
Oh wow.
for something I didn't do, because I'm fighting to be reinstated as the union president. But this is the Democratic Party that I'm fighting against, not to demonize them, not to say that they're worse than the Republican Party, but on this particular situation, they are. Other than that, it's Thanksgiving next Thursday,
Yeah.
and I hope that Colorado wins tomorrow.
Okay.
I guess I'm a Deion supporter.
Why
I'm gonna
not?
see his kids do good. I'm gonna see Travis Hunter do good.
Correct.
And to be honest, and I'll stop here, I hope, this is what my gut tells me. Some black men don't raise their kids. Others don't ever let their kids go. Deion is to the
Oh
latter.
wow.
And wherever his kids go in the NFL, I have a feeling he's going to.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm done. Good. I'm good.
No.
All right.
It's
Dirt. How about
been,
you?
been a solid week for me, you know what I'm saying? Work-wise, been good. Like we was talking, Rich, skills and drills, trying to get the kids prepared. Had a couple games this weekend, so that's pretty much it for me, working on children. I need a
All
vacation.
right. Look, that cannot be overstated. That cannot be overstated. I believe in vacations. I believe work has its place, and we overly work. We do way too much. We spend more time at work than what we do at home.
Right.
So that's just me though. But my week has been pretty chill so far. Just been getting ready for this. Been looking at the cabinet switch over and new names being dropped. But that's something that we'll come back and talk about next Tuesday.
Tuesday
'Cause-
or Wednesday after next?
Oh, wait, Wednesday. Hold on,
No.
let me think.
No. You told God, what's that man's name?
Deuce.
You said not next Wednesday because he's driving. That's before Thanksgiving. You said Wednesday after next. Or did you change it to Tuesday? You have to check.
I thought we agreed on Tuesday. We can do it next week after.
No. You check and tell
That's
me.
just what I've been looking at and following.
Yeah. If it's next Tuesday, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
yeah. All right, I'll tap in with them. But that's been a week so far, and just getting prepared, trying to get prepared for the holidays, the ensuing holidays, and want to make sure we do talk about and push out the time of the year it is, understanding that correlation is not causation. It's not an equal thing. However, this is the time of the year where suicide increases, unfortunately. So if you haven't done it all year, make it a point, at least within the next few days. Hey, Juan, thank you. We will. We're going to try to. to check on your family, check on your loved ones, and just call them and tell them that you love them. You know, because it's worth it. It's worth it. Just trying to get that out. I'll probably do a short commercial that I'll post throughout the holiday season just to, you know, be the suicide prevention hotline, and you know, I'll be reaching out to a lot more people here lately than what I have, just to say hi, just to check in and say, at the very least, check on your peoples. So yeah, we got a hot one in here tonight. As you can see, it's an all fellas panel. I mean, that's not, you know, that doesn't mean that the ladies can't come up and give their opinions whenever they deem it necessary, or, you know, post your information in the comments and the links, both on TikTok. If you're on TikTok with me, go ahead and hop over to the StreamYard channel that I just posted so you can give your opinion, state your opinion. But we're going to talk about, at least from our perspectives, and I'm sure they'll vary. They're not one size does not fit all in these conversations. I wish you was here too, Juan. Which is greener, being single or being in a relationship? What's the greener side of that pasture, or those pastures rather? Which one looks better? Which one feels better? Which one is worth being in and pursuing? So, and we'll hit multiple different points as we go through. So what say you, gentlemen? What do y'all think?
I'm married. I've been married. This is my second marriage. I have to put that out there. So I guess I like the married life. You know what I'm saying? The stability
All right.
of you know, as opposed to the single life. Just yeah, no stability, no morals, no nothing. You just out here. I was just out here being a savage. You know. So I don't know.
So
I think I prefer to.
so
Go ahead.
but you did have a transitional period from one marriage to the next. And so
Mhm.
during that single placement, that area where you were single, what did it feel like? How was it?
It was beautiful, you know what I'm saying? Having that freedom once again, you know what I'm saying? Like you say, it's not checking in, but it's pretty much checking in, you know. It was more like I had my own place to myself, you know what I'm saying? Besides when the crumbs came over, you know, but it seemed like it was just that freedom, a lot more freedom that I didn't have pleasing somebody or being in a relationship, I should say.
So
That was
what
more
drove you to
convenient.
get back into? Yeah, what drove you to get back into a relationship?
Just like anything, just actually vibing. Club scenes got old, you know, like a lot of the things that I was back into, you know, coming from being single, it was more like a party lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, that bachelor life, that's what it was, you know, that freedom. So I don't know what drove me back into, I don't know. Like I say, I think it was more the stabilities, like some of the women that I was dating, some of them didn't know how to cook at, you know what I'm saying, at 30 plus years old. Some of them didn't know how, you know what I'm saying? Some of them didn't keep their homes clean, you know, things of that nature. So,
Word.
correct. Oh, yes. So it's, you know, you had to go back to your standards, you know, like what you like in a woman. And pretty much what I like in a woman is a mother, someone caring, someone, you know what I'm saying, that got my back. Always, you know, I feel like will have my back, and I don't know. That's it.
So what's been easier? Was it easier when you were single, or is it quote unquote, I guess, easier now that you've gotten married?
It was easier being single because I was just thinking about me. Like I say, you know, the kids weren't with me, you know what I'm saying, all the time. I get them every other weekend, certain holidays or days throughout the week. But outside of that, so them days I was with my single friends, you know what I'm saying? Like we was out and about hitting the clubs. Like
Okay. What about you, Rich? What do you think?
I've been divorced since the late, good God, 96, 97, basically. I agree with Red. I've never been married again. My story is a little different. I think religiously, you're supposed to be with somebody. I wouldn't want no one to be by themselves their entire life. Same-sex marriage, heterosexual marriage, it doesn't matter. Everybody needs somebody.
Correct.
But happiness has a lot to do with it. And if you're not going to be with someone to be faithful and make them happy, and that person makes you happy, then you're wasting your time.
So can you make somebody happy though?
Oh yes. Yeah, like Red said, if you're vibing with that special someone and she makes you happy and you make her happy, then it's going to work. It's going to be some struggles. I think, like you said, when you're by yourself, it's a lot easier because when the money comes up short, you don't have nobody to blame but yourself. So, when you're single and you can't pay your rent, you can't get something done, that's on you. But when there's two people working together as one, well, who caused the house note not to be paid? What's going on? And then top of the cleanliness of the homes, I'm big on that. You don't have to be a neat freak, but dirt and filth, that's not how I grew up.
You got something coming off, girl. Come on now.
Yeah. And, but everybody has, as they say, what's the no-go list? What are something that you can't accept? And I think
like a pet peeve or something. Like people having pet peeves.
Pet peeves. And I think with me, it's probably money. If you're not good with money, no, I can't. I'm not doing it. Not that I can't do it. I'm just not. So that's the great thing about being single. I can almost masterfully control my finances. If I'm with someone, whoo, if she's not on the same page as you, or she's not willing to listen to you about finances. So what's better, single or being in a relationship? I think it depends.
Mm-hmm.
It really depends on you. So
what are the benefits outside of financially? What are the benefits of being single?
Red said it. I get up and come and go as I please.
Right.
I don't answer to nobody.
And another huge thing was I had my own. I got to learn myself over again. I did a lot of self-care when I was single again. Got to process myself. You know what I'm saying? What I don't like going into this next relationship. If I choose to get into a relationship, what I do love about, you know what I'm saying, relationship. So honestly, I had that whole process when I got divorced. You know what I'm saying? I had to reevaluate myself. You see what I'm saying? Before I can go back out with somebody else or put that on somebody else. So that was the best part of being, you know what I'm saying, that time frame, I should say.
Yeah.
So just being by yourself and figuring out who you are.
Just getting back to taking care of yourself, you know what I'm saying? Because like you say, in a relationship, I was used to my wife doing certain things, my laundry and stuff, you know what I'm saying? She would cook, you know what I'm saying? Certain things of that nature. Now, hold on, when my stomach growling now, hold on, that's on me. You know, I got to go, you know, like, I got to wash my work clothes, you know what I'm saying? So I can, you know what I'm saying? So it was a, go ahead, son.
I love you.
Love you too. It was a big difference having to get back to me, you know. Good
Okay.
time.
All right.
So outside of all the partying, it was still a lot of learning also, you know.
So then what's changed with being married again? As far as like is the shared responsibilities, what does that look like? And is it worth it?
Oh, yeah.
Is it, are the trade-offs worth it between being single, well, from being single versus being in a relationship, right? That coming and going as you want to, and not having to answer to anybody, or controlling your finances, or walking around the house and making sure you got the place to where you want it to look. What's the what are the trade-offs that you've seen?
It's way more beneficial with a partner than it has been. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, I was a single father, or someone, you know what I'm saying, in a relationship as a parent. You know, I still had my kids, so it was always I'm trying to think how to put. I don't know how to exactly put it with the crumbs in there. You know, but I don't know. It's way more benefits having somebody to wake up next to every day that you know, that you love and cherish. You know what I'm saying? So, definitely once you get to that stage when you marry somebody, you got them. It's the feelings are way more greater than what it was when you just date somebody. You see what I'm saying? You can push somebody out your bed in a couple hours. You know what I'm saying? Or know soon you're done type stuff. You know, it's a lot more benefits to being married, I think.
What do you think, Rich?
I'm sitting here thinking to myself, when we do these videos, people come on Facebook and they watch them. So let me let me choose my words carefully. I was married once. I had a great ex-wife. She could cook. Oh my goodness, cook her ass off. Clean, neat, teeth out the dentist book. But we didn't click in other areas. And that's not her fault. That's not my fault. We just were not meant to be. That was not our divine destiny. Now, I know she remarried, and, I don't know what happened to that marriage. Well, I kind of do. But, I think you have to know your divine destiny. And I think every person, man or woman, once you tune into your divine destiny, you kind of get a sense if you're going to be with somebody or who that person is going to be. You get a sense. Being single, you do have freedom. You can control, you can, like I say, really control what goes on. You can't control destiny, but you can control what you can control. And, when I hear people say, it's great to be married and this and that, they're right. But, I always say you don't know what's great until 30 to 40 years down the road.
Oh, wow. That long?
Yeah, because if you get married in your 20s or early 30s, until you've gone through some situations, the 7-year mark, the 10-year mark, the 15-year mark, until you've had some financial stress, until you've had some health issues where your spouse, gets diabetes and they won't change their eating habits. They get cancer through no fault of their own, and now they pass away. You don't really know what you've gone through until you've gone through a period of time with them. 20 years is not really quite long enough, not in today's society. So when you've been with somebody 20, 30, 40 years and you're in your 70s or 80s, now you have something to testify about. But you're still working towards that situation. With me, I'm single. So when people say, well, how did you achieve all these different things? I achieved it through the grace of God, but not through the grace of working with no one else. Now, that's a good thing and it's a bad thing, because they'll say, well, you achieved all this. You could have achieved a lot more if you would have had somebody by your side working with you. That is very true. Or maybe I wouldn't have achieved anything at all, because someone on the other, who may have been going the other direction and we couldn't have meshed.
Correct.
So, when you see people who have beautiful marriages, that's a blessing from God, because you don't see that in today's society very often. You see a high divorce rate because everybody wants things to happen really fast. But it usually comes down to faithfulness. It comes down to money, and then the little small issues that if you take the number of the small issues and add them up, you don't keep a clean house. You nitpick. You don't eat healthy. One person wants to eat healthy, the other person wants to eat out every day of the week. And then that
Yeah.
eating out causes health illnesses, and then it also causes you stress on your financial situation. So I grew up poor, so I know how to live poor. But some people grew up poor and don't want to be poor, but yet they continue that cycle of living in poverty because they don't change their mindset. So I grew up with people had homes. Some people grow up poor and their people don't have homes, many of them. So if you don't know about the importance of home ownership, and then finally I'll say this, as African American, some Black folks say, hey, I'm not African American, I'm just a Black American. Okay. So if I'm talking to a Black woman, I want her to acknowledge that she is a descendant of the enslaved African. If she says, no, I'm not a descendant of the enslaved African, well, did you migrate to America? If you did in the last 20 or 30 years, then that's different. But if you were born here in America and you African American, you say, well, I'm not a descendant of slavery, but I was born here in America. My family's from here in America. Well, then I can probably, the same thing I'll talk to you about, I can talk to someone outside the Black community. I'll treat you the same ways I would treat them because you don't have a common bond of coming from the enslaved African experience. That's huge.
All
That's
right.
huge.
So I'm gonna ask this question that Dr. Nichelle Dion, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, asked not too long ago, which is what are the non-negotiables? What are your non-negotiables?
Non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Like pet peeves
So
or things like what are non? Let me think about that.
yes, because so for an example, when looking to get back into a relationship or get married again, what are the things that you just won't compromise on? You didn't compromise on in your situation, Dirt, and for your situation, Rich. What are the things that you would that you just would not compromise on? Polar was happening, and I agree with that comment. Either one of y'all can take that first.
I don't know. Like I say, because a lot of the things that I had issues with ended up having to be compromised. You know what I'm saying? I ended up still having to compromise in the situation because once again, it wasn't about me at that time. It was about the relationship. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to think about some pet peeves, but outside of it, like I say, a lot of my pet peeves ended up getting squashed just because a lot of them had to be a compromise going into the relationship from the single life.
So that's not a non-negotiable. That's just a pet peeve. Like a non-negotiable is something that you're a stalwart for. You're not gonna move off of. There's no swaying you one way or another. Like here's a non-negotiable for me. Do you have to be a Christian? No, but do you have to believe in the supreme being? Absolutely, and it cannot be Satan.
Mm.
That's non-negotiable.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I was trying to think of non-negotiables. I ain't like, I don't like this, and I don't, you know what I'm saying, I'm against this, you know what I'm saying. I wasn't never that type of person. Still not. So I'm trying to think of that.
So
Wow.
so what about again, like the comment from Nichelle? If your current wife wasn't active in her child's life.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think because I think that was it wasn't an issue, but that's, you know what I'm saying. I got different baby mamas, you know what I'm saying. So everybody got to treat all mine the same as they would treat theirs, you know what I'm saying. So but I mean, all the women that I mess with, I don't know, they understand it already. So I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I ain't never really had no, you know what I'm saying, none of that.
Polar tell it.
I'm reading that.
And the ladies use him for his looks. That's hilarious. What about you? What are some of your well, let me ask you a couple of questions, right? And we'll start with that first one. But what, like, after you explain the non-negotiables, what would you consider getting remarried at this point in life, or are you content with where you are?
I'm never content. I'm not at that age yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would remarry. My number one non-negotiable is money, and I'm not out to use no one for their money, but you
Mhm.
definitely not going to use me for mine.
So would a prenup be something that you would have to go back into a new marriage with, or is a prenup something that it's discussed? It can be a conversation.
Well, because I'm not worth anything. I'm just an average person. I wouldn't need a prenup. Now, if she was worth millions of dollars and she said, listen, I got all this money, then call your lawyer and let me sign this prenup right now. Because, when I met you, you had all this money, and that's going to always be your money. And what little I have ain't really much worth fighting over. So I would sign her prenup quick. Now, if I became a millionaire, oh yes, we're signing a prenup. Because
you'd allow. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what was yours was yours. What is mine is mine. Because, like I said, I'm not out to take no one's money, but I'm not going to let no one take my money. So it's called respect. No, go ahead.
So the house that you have right now, that you've purchased, you wouldn't want to protect that asset? Because I hear you saying that you're an average person, you don't have much, but what you do have, I would like to think that if things went south, you would still want to maintain the things that you do have.
Well,
no, I'm not saying.
No. I would say this: no one knows if I have a house or not. So
okay,
if I had a house, yeah, I'd probably try to protect it. If I don't have a house, then I have nothing worth protecting. So I've never acknowledged that I have a house or I don't have a house. What I've always acknowledged is I stay at 3225 43rd Street in Sacramento, California. I've always acknowledged that. I never said this house is really mine.
I gotta edit your address out, man. I can't let that fly all over the world.
No, because I'm very transparent. So when I ran for union president, everybody knew where I lived. They knew my phone number.
Yeah, but it's weirdos out here in this world, and this is literally a global podcast. So when I put it on Spotify, there's people in Japan.
I watch my credit report like a hawk, and I do. So my thing is, you can try to hide as much as you want, but if somebody's coming for you, you don't have to really make it easy for them. But if they want to find you, they'll find you on the dark web or on the regular internet. So, I can tell you a lot of things this evening, and someone on here could be saying, you know what, this brother do a lot of talking. I've been watching him for a few weeks now. I'm going to look his ass up. I'm going to see what he really about. I'm going to go to his Facebook page. So all this talking I'm doing tonight, if it doesn't line up to what I've said publicly that I would do to help people, but in my personal life, I'm singing a whole different tune. And they always say your personal life will be somewhat of a reflection of your public life. So I stay consistent in what I say. That's why I'm never afraid. Do what you got to do. But I would say my non-negotiable is we have to agree on the money, because I'm not getting any younger, and the woman that I would be with, she's not going to be no, young person probably. So if you can't agree on the money, and your health will eventually start to deteriorate, to go downhill, you better agree on that money. Because if you don't, there ain't nothing worse than being in a bad relationship in your late 60s, early 70s, and you ain't got no money. You could have did all that by yourself. You could have been miserable by yourself.
Okay.
And been much happier. So that
that used to be a song. That used to be a song we used to hear.
Yeah. So people always want to say, I want to find somebody, but finding somebody that you can agree with on money. So some people say, I don't care about 20, 30 years down the road. I want to live for today. I want to enjoy today because tomorrow's not promised. A person who has that type of mindset, that's fine. I'm not going to disrespect them or judge them. you ain't the one for me. Because my life, I know I have destiny down the road. And so I
Okay.
need someone who feels the same way, that they're going to live into their at least middle 80s. At least middle 80s.
Yeah, I understand that, because I get on my lady quite frequently about saying she old, and I'll be like, you gonna say that until you talk yourself into it. You know, that's why I
Manifest,
don't.
as you say.
I'm
Yeah.
yeah. There's no point in doing that. I'm gonna be young until I'm dead. You know, I don't believe in the concept of time the way everybody else does. So yeah, that's just me.
So
That's
which
just
one
me.
you think better, Jig? Single or marriage life?
It depends on the person. I think for people who are out, first off, I think that people who haven't taken the time to figure out how to make themselves happy first, and then look externally, uh, the same type of people who jump in and out of relationships with no real intention. Or hey, Ricky, matter of fact, happy belated birthday to you.
Birthday,
Um,
sis.
yeah, but I believe that those are the same type of people who jump in and out of relationships, and I don't want to say they ruin other people, but they leave the relationship with marks left behind because they haven't figured themselves out, and they've spilled that over to other people. Um, People who don't have a concept or have a vision as to where they want to be or where they want to go in life, they should probably stay single for a little bit longer until they can figure that out. People who don't have a concept or an understanding of money, who doesn't understand how politics works, how economics work, how and you don't have to be an expert in these fields, but if you have a very small mind or narrow view on how the world works and how things look outside of yourself, you should probably be single for a little while longer. And that's because that it'll benefit that individual in the short run until they can get these things figured out. And I say that haphazardly because I've been the same type of person that I'm describing, right? I've been married before also. And understanding now what I didn't know then, moving forward, I think I'd be a better husband to my partner in the future than what I was able to be in the past. Because I did take the time out to figure out who I am, and I did do the self work, and I found out the things I didn't like about myself. And I knew if I didn't like these things about myself, there's a good chance the person that I'm finna be with ain't gonna like those same things. And I'd have to struggle with that. And not if I'm in a relationship, not only am I going to have to struggle with that internally, but that internal combustion, that's exactly what happens. It's not only an implosion, but it becomes an explosion as well. So yeah, it's absolutely, this is all subjective. Again, this is my opinion, Key. That's just me. Um, but these internal combustions become external explosions, and we explode on other people because a lot of times we're dealing with internal strife and what I actually call your inner me's, which we think uh, are external enemies. So depending on the person, if you haven't gotten these small things figured out, what makes you happy, hell, what type of music you like, or if you have a more of an eclectic type or palette for music and things, right? Because even like you said, the small things build up over time. And so if I just go around the house uh listening to blues all day, but my partner doesn't like hearing blues, well hell, 30 years down the line, the whatever device we're listening to this stuff on is gonna get thrown against the wall, and I'm gonna get yelled at like I can't hear that shit no more. Like when I was well, it was 27 years ago actually. I ain't trying to age myself, but when I was in AIT, Advanced Individual Training at Fort Lee at the time is what it was called. The name has since been changed, fortunately. There was I don't know who was playing it, but every freaking morning, yes, it's compatibility. Every freaking morning, somebody would wake up and blast DC go-go music, that Virginia DC area go-go music,
Yeah.
and drove me up a wall, Jack. I was like, hey, turn that shit. Who keep playing that? It's bad enough we finna go out. We got to get up. We go out here, run these miles, sing these cadences, and now I got to deal with this? Nah, some got to give, and I can only control what I can control in the space I can control it. I ain't have no rank on me, right? So I can't tell the drill song, don't sing cadence, just let us run. I can do none of that. But that was one of the things. It was a small implosion, and I was like, I can't deal with this. So something as small as music, listening to a similar style of music on a continuous basis that my partner might not like. One day, that could be the snap. You know, I have no issue with after I use my toothpaste, putting it on a certain side of the sink, right? That's where I keep it. I know where my toothbrush is. I know where everything is. I know where my trimmer goes. And so it goes on the left side, right next to the plug. I know where my shaver goes. It goes on the left side, right near my trimmer, right? I know where these things go. But when my lady comes in, well, she gotta have space for her too. So she's moving my stuff around, and you know, I had to sit back and think about that once, and I was like, that's a very small thing. And this won't disturb me no more. It's not going to bother me if she moves stuff around. She needs to be comfortable too.
Let me tell you something.
You know, so
I can say this for a fact. If a man is ever talking about buying a home with his girlfriend, his wife, that master bathroom is hers. That's not for you. That's for her. Your shit is supposed to be out back somewhere, like a little outhouse, a little small bathroom. You go do what you got to do, brush your teeth, whatever. But that master bathroom, that master closet, that's for her, not you. And I don't know how many men have to fail at this to realize that the kitchen is hers. The master bathroom is hers. The master closet is hers. The master bedroom is hers. The laundry room is hers. Okay. So about 90% of the house is really her. You're just there to make sure that, you know, the enemies don't come inside the house. But the house is for her. It's for her friends. It's for her mother.
I got my man cave. I got my man cave.
Yep.
I got my area.
I can agree to that. I can concede to that point of agreement because the house is I heard something stated not too long ago, and it was said it's so funny. But before I say that, let me read Key's Jay Glass's not the movement, but my big sister. I'm gonna read her statement. It says that the statement is based on your wants and needs in a partner. And this is the part that I found elegantly hilarious. There are a sea of idiots who coexist in pure bliss. And that's true. That is true. And I'll follow up on that in a second. But going back to that, there was a guy who came up with this effeminate statement of a question about what the woman brings to the table. No, it's my table, right? And I don't need you to bring anything to this table. Because I'm going to prepare the table for you. I'm going to lay out the food. I'm not asking you to bring anything. And I want you're a guest. I want you to feel comfortable. I need you to feel comfortable. Let me host you. And I couldn't agree with that statement more after thinking about it for a second, because it's a very similar parallel to what you just said, Richard. When men buy houses, it's not particularly for them. It's for our partner or for our future partner. Like the house that I recently purchased, I didn't buy the house for me. Hell, if I was single with no kids, I'd do well by living in a damn econo lodge and paying money. I'm good. I'm easy. But I know that there's a certain amount of a quality of life that I am charged with providing those that I'm gifted with serving, essentially my kids and my lady and my family. And so I want to provide this. It's not for me. I want them to be comfortable. I want them to have a certain quality of life, and I'm willing to provide that as well. Right. So I don't need anybody to bring anything to the table. That's not what I'm asking. What I need, however, is for you to be comfortable and you have the maneuverability and the freedom to be you more you inside these walls than what the world will allow you to be outside of these walls. That's what I need to have happen. And I want to provide that space. I want to protect this space that I'm trying to provide for my loved ones. That's how I took what you said, Rich. Just throwing that out there.
But you know, you said something about this is the funny thing about men and women. Women say they want to be treated with love and equal respect. Nothing wrong with that. But you know, this idea that men are supposed to be providers in today's society, I don't think so. Today's economy demands a 2-person income. Was it always like that in the past? Yeah. No, it wasn't. But in today's society, when women said, you're not going to keep me barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen, and you can put your hands on me anytime you want, I don't really have any rights. I don't have a voice in this country. When women were, quote, finally allowed to vote, and then later on take their rightful place in the economy and work, then this idea that men are supposed to provide for women, that's kind of over. Now, some women say, hey, I want a man to provide for me. If I had a daughter, I would tell her, don't you ever let a man provide for you. You take care of yourself. You learn how. Remember the attorney down in Georgia, when she got up and she testified, Bonnie Willis, and she talked about how her daddy raised her. Now, that's the kind of woman I can work with. Someone that's independent. So that her independence and my independence, now we come together and work together as a team. But if one person is doing more work than the other person in the relationship, somebody's going to feel like they have the upper hand. And so I'm not with the provider thing. I'm like, find someone that I can work with equally. That way she's not doing too much, I'm not doing too much, and we share this responsibility together. So, you know, some women, when they rise up and they start making 6 figures, they become multimillionaires, billionaires. I can't help you. I'm not on your status level. Yeah, I can sign a prenuptial and everything, and you can respect that, but I'm not at your level. So when the Bible talks about being equally yoked with someone, being on this, not just, it says religiously being equally yoked, but I think it goes further into, quote, worldly. Are we on the same page? So in other words, if I'm out here slinging drugs and you were the nun in the church, that may not work. You know, if I'm betting on that relationship, I'm gonna bet that it's gonna fail long term. So, you know, the idea that, you know, men should take care of women. It's the same idea that some men think that a woman should take care of me, and you see him in the car on the right side, seat all laid back, and she's driving him around and she's spending all her money on him.
So I think there's a difference when we're talking about providing. You're not providing in the aspect of making people dependent on. That's the difference, right? When a person is solely dependent on, you got it. Cause let me post a link in the chat for you. When a person is solely dependent on the other person, now you're in a condition of servitude. That's totally different than what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about rearing slaves or rearing people who don't know how to do and provide for themselves, because the independent woman that I have, right, just because she's independent doesn't mean that she doesn't allow me not to provide the things that I can provide when I can provide them. She's comfortable taking a few steps back and saying, yeah, baby, go ahead. I thank you for paying for dinner, you know, or thank you for helping out with this bill, if it was something like that, or thank you for helping out with gas money, right? So providing the provisioning aspect of it isn't a form of dependency, as it were, because that's what a lot of people begin to take that as. Because I'm teaching my girls that you have to be independent, you know, and we all know we grew up with watching and learning and growing from independent women. That's what we know.
I know you did. Yeah.
Right. Hell, if you look at my older sister right now, I wish she was still in the chat so she could hop on. She's greatly independent. Oh, she is there. There she is. but there's a difference between assisting, right, and providing something versus making or manipulating. That's the part that's the word I was looking for. Manipulating somebody into servitude. That's the difference.
Sounds good.
What you got, Dirk? You ain't saying that in a second, cuz we're waiting for
Man,
you.
I just been listening to y'all, man. Just, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much, yeah. Like you were saying, it's not a service when you doing it out of the kindness of your heart, pretty much. And it ain't kindness of your heart, like you saying, you providing for crumbs. That's what I call my kids. You know what I'm saying? You providing for a purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's not just meaningless or being forced into it. It's reasoning behind what you're doing.
Well, you know what? I always know when I talk to a man that's in a relationship, he's really, he could actually run for the White House. He measures his words. He measures his words. He's always thoughtful. Always
Correct. I got you.
And you can always talk to the man who's straight up single and tells it the way it is. So, but I'm nobody's daddy. And you know, a lot of times you'll hear a woman say, "You sound like my daddy, Richard." Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Don't worry about all that. But you sound like him because daddy's giving it to you straight down the line. This is what it is. But
actually, this is where actually we came up with this topic because a lot of my single partners are having issues with the dating circle, with a girlfriend they into, you know what I'm saying? We got husbands and wives in the midst of like splitting up, you know what I'm saying? But they've been separated, you know, so it's been a lot of, that's why we came up with this topic because there's been a lot of conversation, you know what I'm saying, going around like that.
Listen,
What up, gentlemen?
this is prevalent throughout America.
What up?
About the divorce rates going up since the 2000s.
MC.
And usually they say the divorce rate is
What's up,
gone.
Good dude. I know.
Got it, Cuzzo.
Yeah, so normally the divorce rates have gone up not because of infidelity, but because of money issues. So when Keith said, a lot of people are living in happiness, even though they're polar opposites or whatever. Is that why our country is so far in debt? Is that one of the reasons? Because people, when you're kind of not with the right person, you're kind of sad. You just go out and spend some money and just call it a day. Why most people are living paycheck to paycheck. They're in financial distress. Because that is the American way.
Nah,
if you get a little sad, do a little drugs,
All right, cuz I'm
I said this
you,
could
boy.
What do you say? Go ahead.
Hey, cuz, what's up, yeah?
What it do, cuzzo?
What's up, cuz?
Hey, I just wanted to chime in on this real quick. Just my opinion, cuz I think the single side is greener, cuz ain't nobody got time for this bullshit these chicks be on no more, bro. You know what I'm saying? All these motherfucking hoes out here, like, most of them just got their hand out. You see how like the entertainment world done took these chicks' heads over, bro? You got them out here like they just like they want the bag. They ain't gonna fuck with you or something. Man, fuck these hoes, cuz. Niggas like do them like they trying to do us and move on, cuz. For real.
Oh, wait, I got a question. Hold on, I got a question. So what came first? Brothers not acting right with sisters, or sisters not acting right with brothers? Which one came
Bro,
first?
this ain't no which came first kind of question. I heard what you saying, but like you can't, these chicks just as grimy as these dudes. Let's be real about that.
All right.
Oh yeah, the game has changed for us, you know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of that what we was talking about, a lot of independence. So they going out getting their shit, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of them been tired of getting stepped on, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
By the male
Yeah,
dominated
so
industry
I
all the
think
way
that's why
around.
we you know we at where we at now, cuz so like outside of that, I'm getting a birthday weekend started. What's up, yeah?
You got it. I know. I feel you, cuz.
That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of the single guys that's going through it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If
But
you
Because I can really speak from this like being married now. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like on
cuz you
everything I
just,
love.
huh?
I
Huh?
said, MC spoke on it. He just went in.
Nah, man, I'm just saying, cuz like I ain't like if I get divorced, cuz this'll never happen again, cuz.
I,
Correct. I same her. If I ever got divorced,
Like I ain't hating on my wife or nothing like that. I ain't saying nothing
no,
like
correct.
that. But
No,
like this'll never go down like that again, cuz like for real.
so MC, you think being single is a better option? Why?
Hey, cuz I think being with somebody or being single gonna come all the way down to that individual, to tell you the truth, cuz and what they ready to deal with or not deal with. You know what I'm saying? But man, from what I can see now, just my opinion, cuz like man, ain't nobody finna be on that bullshit with these chicks, bro. Like
But
straight up, bro. Like life too
MC,
short for that. Like life too short for that.
I don't disagree with you, but okay, so you're talking about a lot of the chicks that you see online, and I do agree that the internet has begun to play too big of a role in people's lives as far as as far as how we interact with each other, because is motherfuckers out here believing that this fantasy is real life, and it specifically is not.
Hey, for real, fat. Look at
But
these little dudes crashing out listening to these rappers now, bro. Look at these dudes
oh no,
crashing out.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
I'm with
you
that.
definitely agree with
I, I think the
that.
influence has become way too much, and I think a lot of that is stimulated by chasing money, by parents having to be out of the house, working, not being able to pay attention to their children, not giving them the proper influence, the proper guidance, so on and so forth. And you don't have to be married to do that. You just have to make sure you take an invested interest in your child. But people ain't, and they're letting them watch any and everything that's popping up online, right? Like you said, the little guys crashing out, or the chicks just stating that they want the bag, but they don't even understand what it takes to get the bag. And they're not willing to put in the work to get the bag for themselves first, and then go and help somebody else grow their bag in its entirety. So I don't disagree with you there. However, I think because it has been so propagandized, or it's been sold so much, that we're seeing that it's sold as a bit bigger picture than what it actually is in real life. That's just me.
But hold on. When people talk about getting the bag, I want people to understand this. If you're listening to music that's teaching you to get the bag, then you're listening to short-term mindsets. And a short-term mindset has never turned around to help the community. A short-term mindset is all about getting mine because I don't think I can live for tomorrow. I don't think tomorrow is promised. My environment is nothing, and I'm a product of my environment. So therefore that makes me nothing. So therefore I can call other black men and black women the N-word in front of white folks because I feel I am nothing. Well, I am somebody.
Mm.
I'm not going to refer to other black folks on a song, whether it's in a good way or a bad way, for entertainment's sake for those outside my community. Now,
And it's past entertainment. I didn't mean to cut you off, brother. It's past entertainment, but we both know. Let's just throwing something out there to you. You think if Sexy Red was rapping something positive, we'll even know about her?
Oh, absolutely not.
Now here's the thing I was saying about rap music years ago to people. You have black men and women who have the incredible gift of writing. The incredible gift of writing, memorizing, their poetic skills is above beyond. Those skills are so incredible that very few outside the black community, other than Eminem and maybe the Beastie Boys or someone else, can copy it, can mimic it. Their skills are just that great. Unfortunately, and not all of them say the N word, but some of them do. And the ones who have said it, I believe, have prospered, other than Will Smith. I would say Jay-Z, I would say Tupac, I would say Biggie. Those are our monsters. I don't know if Nas says the N-word so much in his music. I'm not so sure.
Nas don't never say the N-word.
Okay. But I'm gonna say Jay-Z, for example. So Jay-Z has used the N-word and made a ton of money. Now, he came from Marcy Projects. He was never supposed to make it out of the inner city, nor was he supposed to make it out of the Marcy Projects. And he's drug-free, as far as I know. He's not an alcoholic. He's not beating on Beyonce. He doesn't have a bunch of kids, and he has saved his money. So he's really a winner in all these different categories. But in order for him to win, he sold a certain mindset, and he sold it better than anyone else.
Yeah, that's funny you brought up Jay-Z because you know he's next, right?
He's who? He's who?
I say you know he's next, right?
He's mixed with what?
I say he's next.
Next from what?
After Diddy.
You know,
After
it
Diddy.
was a time everything you just said about Jay-Z, we was saying it about Diddy at one point, right? Because we didn't know none of that stuff was going on with him. And I still don't care now. You know, they get our race to turn on us anyway and make it twice as bad as the media even trying to make that. We ain't gonna get into that tonight though. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
And you know what? As far as we know, Mr. Combs is innocent until proven guilty. As far as we know, he hasn't got his time in court. And listen, he didn't even get a chance for President-elect Donald Trump to even select him to be his attorney general, for them to say, you've done too much wrong, you can't do this. But we know Matt Gaetz, with all the stuff that they said they had on him, he was going to be the attorney general. He said, well, maybe I've done a little too much, so let me step aside from being attorney general. But they didn't talk about putting him in jail, but they got Mr. Combs sitting in jail. He can't even get bond. I'm done.
Hey, brother, all of our black, whoever had any kind of influence as far as my generation go, they done tried to tarnish all of them. You know what I'm saying? From Michael Jackson to Prince, you know, R. Kelly, you know, everybody that, you know what I'm saying, went bow to them is, you know, man, Poe Bill Cosby, bro, all because he wouldn't sell him his house, bro. Jesus Christ. So all I want to just got on her to say, y'all, I think what y'all talking about tonight, cause I mean, and I'm gonna go back to even us growing up, cause I think at some point in time, being with somebody or being single, cause I'm gonna say that again, that's gonna come down to your own individual self. Because I mean, look what we saw growing up. You know what I mean? Like who, you know, our parents might have been with, or it was different growing up. We was growing up. They fucked up now, cuz, but
it was totally different. Back then,
it's a whole nother generation, cuz, like, I don't even. And bro, and some of these chicks do know what getting a bag is, but then you got some of them that take it too far, and then they out here like they're a fucking man or something, and then don't nobody want to love them anyway because you can't be dealt with.
So let's talk about that. Go ahead, Dirk. Go ahead, Rich.
When Fad said single versus relationship, what he didn't ask us was how has drugs influenced that situation over the years? Because I think drugs has played some type of role on, do you want to be single? Do you want to be married? Are people able? How many relationships have ended because the spouse, I'm just going to pick on men, wouldn't stop doing drugs because he has an addiction?
Yeah, but look how, man, these women be, but bro,
are women on drugs?
I just honestly feel like, man, with the way the generations done came up, like right now, bro, like you gotta remember, man, like the younger the generation done got, bro, all that being with a man and a woman being, you know, how everything is now, bro, like they don't know that. You know what I'm saying? Because they fucking mama was still a kid when she had them. You know what I'm saying? So you want
I
to
agree
look
with that. There's a
around.
lot of
We
options out
see
there.
all these rainbows and shit now, bro. Man, these people do a lot in front of their kids, bro. So
I don't disagree with that. But to that point, uh that's been around since heterosexuality's been around.
yeah, I ain't saying it. I know, but look how
Yeah,
it's more out there though now, cuz.
yeah,
Like
that's what he's saying. Like how
it's in a
our exposure,
motherfucker face, cuz. They showing it on TV.
how the kids are exposed to like the music and the drugs, and you know what I'm saying, from our community. The community, the LGBT community, is pushing the agenda of just the kids got so many options at so many early ages. You know what I'm saying? They can choose to be who they
Man,
want to be with. You
shit
know
is
what I'm saying?
different now. Shit is different now, cuz.
As
That's
opposed
all
to
I
back
was
in the
saying.
day where I think we went from like tradition. You know what I'm saying? Versus we seen what was in the household. You know, it was
Cuz
gay
that
couples
shit
that had a
wasn't in front
baby.
of us growing up, cuz.
Not like that, but like I say, it's a lot more exposure, just like the
Hell
internet
yeah.
did.
Cause I ain't talking about them, nigga. All we had was our cousin Anthony growing up.
'Cause all our kids are exposed to
I had a
so much.
cousin
You
too.
know what I'm saying?
I had a cousin too. So, you know what's funny about what you just said, cuz? In DC, the Congressman Mace is having this big old thing about the new transgender congresswoman and that
Yeah.
she doesn't want her using the women's bathroom.
Right.
But the way you said it kind of solidifies whether Congressman, it solidifies Congresswoman Mace's view that it's that important. Now, when you say it, you're saying it with sincerity. I don't know if Congresswoman Mace is saying it with true sincerity or is she with a prejudice against the LGBTQ? I don't know.
Right
No
now,
one knows.
I'm just saying, yeah, it's a lot more exposure to.
Yeah, but you know what? That may be affecting single versus relationship as well. So
Yes,
drugs
sir.
may be-
That's what we saying.
So
Yeah, that's what we saying. It's
go ahead, Dirk. Go ahead, Dirk.
no, that's what we saying. You know, just the exposure to so many options. You know what I'm saying? Like you really, damn, you really start to think you got to do a mental health check on relationship based on what you want to. You know what I'm saying? Identify with or who you want to be with. So you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, damn, I like this, I like that, but I'm supposed to be this. You know, I'm supposed to. You know, so it's a lot. It's a lot that the kids and everybody are exposed to nowadays. That's all I'm saying.
So I'll ask y'all this, with an understanding of the historical significance of religion, because in a very similar stance, Christianity in America has been overexposed to us as well. It's been overexposed to us as well. Religion has been overexposed to the world at large as well. And that's it's not highlighted in the same fashion as the LGBTQIA. But the question that I have is understanding the because I don't disagree that it does have uh, an effect on relationships nowadays, but which has done more harm to the world at large?
You talking about Christianity or
Or
sexuality?
LGBTQIA? Yeah.
Boy,
I
that's
don't know,
tricky.
but
That's
it
tricky.
goes. It still goes back to the generations because our generation believed in Christianity.
Yeah, fat.
This
That's where I
generation
was.
don't. They believe in what they believe in. You see what I'm
Well,
saying? So
you ain't
so
lying.
everything. That's what I'm saying. So everything that we grew up believing in and just living on tradition, they just threw all that shit out the book. You see what I'm saying? They live in a whole
Sure.
different. It's our way of thinking
And
now.
Fat,
You see what I'm saying?
that.
So,
Fat, you know that yourself, brother. Look how that orange
No,
guy
no,
just
but
got back in that White House partner.
so but I'm just saying
yeah,
I
because
think it was.
but
I
the
think
question wasn't answered. Like,
yeah, but I think I see where Fat's going. For example, if you are a descendant of the enslaved African, then you would probably say that the Europeans' opinion on their Christianity gave them the incentive to come down to Africa and gather resources and send those resources across the world, because they say that God and Jesus and the angels were all white people. So by manifest destiny, the white man's Christianity has, quote, done some evilness across this world. And what he's saying is John, who wants to be called Susie now, is Susie born as John going to do more evilness to you as a black man than, quote, some white people's opinion that Christianity is their religion that puts them as racially superior over all others?
Well, Fat can break that part down for all of us. You know what I'm saying? Hey, because
It was
you know
question.
he had to make
It was
me
the best-
understand. You know,
Yeah, so
like I can tell you like this. So like, I'm not into the Bible like you two, like you and Richard grew up. You see what I'm saying? So my values on, you know what I'm saying, church is totally
and see,
different. So I'm not so
that's
in depth.
right there, cuz
I'm not
Fat
so,
had to
I'm
make
not so
me
in
understand
depth
too.
as
Like,
y'all are on that. You see what I'm saying? So and then y'all going back ancestries and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Versus
well, cuz just knowing this Bible came about to control us, bro. You know, it's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? But Fat woke me up to that. But Fat, I still want you to think about it. What I was just trying to tell you about this question, man. Just think,
No,
cuz when we just think. I just want you to just think about it now that we grown, cuz look at what we. You see what I'm saying?
I totally get
It's
what you're saying.
almost like they want the world like this, cuz.
Yeah, and I'm not disagreeing with you at all. But the point that we also can't leave out is the zealousness of white Christian nationalism is just as dangerous as the zealousness of the LGBTQIA community. That's the only point that I'm trying to make.
I mean, I get that. Like they trying, like the whole state of Ohio right now, they trying to do a mandate where they trying to stop. The state of Ohio is the biggest Klan meeting state in the world. You see what I'm saying? They the biggest in the state. You know what I'm saying? So they trying to put laws in place where these guys cannot march with their weapons no longer and stuff. So I'm
Right.
you see, I'm up on things like that, but the community's still pushing agendas like where. How do you justify that with your own? You see what I'm saying? If you
hold on one second. When it comes to the
I didn't try to get on the community tonight either.
Yeah, when it comes to the Second Amendment, I believe that every American should have a licensed firearm, any type of firearm they want, so that the U.S. government cannot declare martial law. But I'm going to go back to the religious aspect, because what Cuz is saying, what Mike One is saying about they're pushing, quote, this rainbow gay agenda, you're absolutely right. But check out the flip side of this. You're trying to push this Bible-based education in Texas. Now, this country was founded on religious freedom.
And
So even though they say we're a Christian nation, you can't give bias towards Christianity, because what happens when you elect a Muslim president or a Jewish president or any other religion?
Yeah.
So you want to be neutral of religion.
You
So
do
what
want to be
happens-
neutral.
Right. So if you try to pass Bible-based stuff in the state of Texas, what happens in that school district, in that county, when you have someone who's a Satanist and says, well, since you want to talk about God, I want to talk about Satan because he's my God. And so I want you to show me the same love and the same respect.
Hell yeah. Hey, Fat. Look,
That's
hey,
what I'm saying.
how many of them was walking around Parkway?
That's where the world is at now. So now
Oh,
they
yeah.
can really force their opinion now. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we saying. That's just that's just open the gates for everything now.
Yeah.
That's what it did. It just opened the floodgates for everything, for everyone to just come out and just, well, y'all let them do that.
Yeah. And
Wow,
you know
yeah.
what? And you know why that gate was open?
It's cool when they do it.
Because of years ago, because gay people were not treated with love and respect years ago, and they were victims of hate crimes up to the current day. And because of that, Now, the left tried to go too far to the left, which caused a reaction on the right.
I agree with all
And there's
that.
no
Yeah.
happy medium in between, which talks about single and the relationship aspect. Single versus relationship. But is there a happy medium in between that?
Hey, Richard, I'm gonna tell you what's in between there, brother. You listening to me? My fucking happiness and peace of mind is in between there, brother.
There you go.
For real. For real.
Be first and foremost.
And hey,
Y'all don't think living a single life, y'all just going through life just trying to find that one?
cuz who is that one of you?
You don't know. If you got hurt, so you gonna stop dating? You know what I'm saying? If you got, you know what I'm saying, went back to the single life, you wouldn't date no more?
I'm not telling you that at all. You heard me clearly.
Correct,
I'm gonna treat these hoes like they trying to treat us.
But not all of them like. So everybody, all of them. That's they all.
No,
they
I'm not. Hey, cuz I'm not
Correct,
talking about all of them. You know, I'm not talking about all of them. Cause I just already told you again. I never do this again. So I never run into these problems again because that big ass red flag like they be having on these flagpoles, that's gonna be in my face big.
Cuz the state of mind. Hey, cuz said, I am the flag.
But even
I am the
even if you don't get married again, even if you don't get married again, and you just find somebody that you vibe with forever, ever. What is the difference? That's what I'm getting to. For it's the single life. So a lot of people, because we just saying single is also people that got girlfriends and boyfriends that's been together for forever, ever. You see what I'm saying?
Well, cuz and if that's what it gotta come to, I leave it at girlfriend, boyfriend, because for some reason, motherfucker feel like shit gotta change because you get married, and that's where shit take the left turn. Because the marriage part just a piece of the marriage part just a piece of paper, bro. But it seems like when you just stay boyfriend and girlfriend, it's a lot of bullshit you don't deal with, partner. That's just my opinion, cuz. That's all I'm saying to y'all.
I got you.
So, hey, I gotta make another drink. I'm finna go back to watching y'all. Talk to y'all later. Much love.
Love you, hello.
For sure. Right on, cuz. I know we don't have too much time left because Dirt got an early morning. Got to be at the game. It starts at 8.
Yeah, buddy.
Your game starts at 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we ain't got too much longer to be on, but I think it's a progressive thing. And we don't learn that relationships are progressive until we've messed it up, and we've got to go back to the drawing board and be like, wait a minute, hold on, let me figure some things out. I could have done this better. I don't even know why I was in that situation from the jump. So, but again, like my sister said, there are a lot of idiots living in the sea of bliss that are together. So, I don't know. We will push forward. I see we've come to a bit of a stalemate on this. And with that being said, we will move into, because I don't think we got a firm answer outside of it. I guess we did get a firm answer. It depends on the individual, So we'll go with that. But with that being said, let's go into final thoughts. Who got it first? Nobody want to.
I take it.
All right,
So,
for sure.
that's what I was waiting on.
Sure.
I thought you were going to talk about that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Final thoughts. A guy like me just comes from tradition. You know what I'm saying? So I'm used to the lifestyle of having that mate, having that, you know what I'm saying, that person, your person. You know what I'm saying? So That's where I come from, and I think today's generation is lacking that. They ain't got no big homies, you know what I'm saying? But they just really ain't got that upbringing that we came from. You know what I'm saying? Like the parents are there, but like you say, Jig, the parents are having to deal with trying to, I don't know. First of all, don't be your kid motherfucking partner. You know what I'm saying? Be a parent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I think y'all can set some boundaries and move forward and be great. But I'm with the relationships over the single life. Final thoughts.
All right. Rich, you up next. You got the next final
Hey.
thought.
You know, this was a great conversation, single versus relationship. I think money and it depends on the person, drugs, the LGBTQ issue, you know, the influence of rap music. I think all that, you know, today's society, people don't stay married like they used to. You know, I think this really comes down to what do you feel is best for you? And like you said, if you don't really know yourself, then maybe you shouldn't be trying to enter a relationship, whether you're getting married or just a boyfriend, girlfriend. Maybe you shouldn't do that. You should find out first who you are and what you want out of life. Find out what your pet peeves are, what you can tolerate, and what you can't. And then hopefully you can find someone who shares those same values. And so I would say to that, happy early Thanksgiving to those who celebrate Thanksgiving. Hopefully you're in a relationship with somebody that you can have a great Thanksgiving meal if you choose to celebrate. But if you're single like me,
I got a plate, Rick. I'm get a plate.
you got some freedom. Freedom to
Got some.
live your life. That's
Yes,
it.
sir.
That's fair. All right. So my final thoughts are, I think my final thoughts are simple. Figure out who you going to be, who you want to be before you try to persuade other people about the same thing, right? If you're going to be in a relationship, first learn how to make yourself happy. If you can't be happy by yourself, nobody's going to make you that. It's an impossible thing. And yes, I do agree with what Rich said earlier. Men who are in relationships, we absolutely do speak different than men who aren't. And I think there's a reason for that, because that's where we are in our head space and timing, right? So the words will come out differently, and things look differently when you're in a relationship versus when you're not. You know, there's a different hope, as it were, that we rely on. So what I also say is, young men and women, don't do yourselves a disservice and be influenced by the falsehoods of Beyonce's internet. Not everybody's rich. Not everybody's beautiful without their makeup. Not everybody wears a size 2. Not everybody works out all day and ain't got to do shit for the rest of the day. Right? That's not real. It's not real life. And if that's what you're expecting, plan on being disappointed when real life comes and kicks you in your ass, because that's all that's going to happen. Don't take this internet shit so seriously to where it influences and affects your life in ways that you can't dig yourself out of. Don't go out here and have a kid because somebody said it in a song that's cool because I got to take care of my kids. That shit ain't cool. Don't go out here and bust it wide open, you know, and let motherfuckers know that your pee hole pink and your booty hole brown because that's what was said in the song. If these are your freaking, if these are your icons, if these are the people that you want to influence you, you got one or two things that's going to happen to you. You're going to either have a really long and hard life, or it's going to be faster and quicker than what you really wanted it to be. Don't put yourself in those situations. Please don't. So those are my final thoughts. And with that being said, as always, y'all could have been anywhere else in the world, but you decided to hang out with us tonight. And for that, we appreciate it. And we love you all for it. Happy Thanksgiving. And don't put your Christmas tree. Thanksgiving is over with.
I know that's
That way we can start saying Merry Christmas. So with that being said, thank y'all for coming out. God bless and good night.
Good night, good people.